Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the last panel. I am Steve, and with me, as always, is our esteemed guests, our amazing panel that make up this fine show. If it wasn't for them, there would be no show. To my right, the man, the myth, controversy itself, Gray Poupée. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. I enjoy that nickname. I got to say, I've been called much worse than controversy. So, yeah, things are on a high note currently. But yeah, happy to be here talking about some controversial movies that we love, even though they didn't age so well. Yeah, man, it's an exciting night to speak of movies. So let's do this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to your picks, as probably most people are. Most people are. They want to hear what you have to say about things. But the man who's never wrong, he's never been wrong. Like not one time on this show, apparently, is Bob ever been wrong. Everybody loves Bob. Bob loves movies.
Never
How
wrong.
You doing? How you doing, sir?
I wish that was the case, that I'd never been wrong. I'm glad that this is going to be out there on YouTube, because I got to show my fiance this and say, see, babe, I'm never been wrong.
The whole world thinks it.
Everybody thinks it. But no, man, doing good. Glad to be here, man.
You enjoying one job life?
God, yeah. You know what's funny is that my old job has been begging me to come back on the weekends, and they actually gave me an offer that's somewhat considerable. And then as I was thinking about it, I was just like, no, it's a good deal, because it was only going to be for Saturdays, not even Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, but
just Saturdays, and it was like, no, I'm in a good headspace right now. I don't want to put myself back there.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Money is not everything. It's not everything. It isn't. Sometimes your mental well-being is.
Yeah. So no, I'm good where I'm at.
And the man to his left needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it to him anyway. Dare to keep a Warren off drugs, and that's what we've been doing, folks. He's drug free.
Yes, finally.
Let's box Warren. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, man. It's been a busy week, but a productive one. So that's going good, and I'm excited about
super busy. You've been super busy, man. This past couple months.
Yeah, things are going good though. I mean, I'm not as far as I wanted to be on my book, but I realize that I'm putting every bit of time I can into it, so I can't really kick myself for not being as far as I want.
Yeah, I would say like you're probably comparatively to what you were doing, you're way further than you would be.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was there on the last draw stream, which was awesome, which was a lot of fun. You're getting there, man. It's moving. Looks great too. Looks great, by the way. Everything looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Looks fantastic, by the way. So go join Warren on his draw streams on, was it Tuesdays, Thursdays?
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, sometimes Saturdays, Sundays, and on Mondays.
Okay. Which one's the Art Brothers? Which
Art
day
Brothers
is that?
is on Monday.
Monday. Okay. I get all those confused sometimes.
This Monday we're going to be doing Minions mashups.
Oh, sweet. I haven't.
That could be
Listen,
awesome.
The 8-year-old that loves the Minions in his house hasn't mentioned Minions at all this past 2 weeks. Let me tell you. He has not talked about it once. Not one time. So I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. A lot better than I was last week, man. I was so sick. And I don't know what the hell happens, man. Like when I get sick, my body, I'm like the weakest immune system man there is. Like I get like 104-degree temperatures, and then I got better, and then I took David swimming, right? And I think that's why last week, like I was feeling so shitty, because the next day I woke up and I had literal, like, I'm so white because I have, like, since working at home, I have not gone outside. And when I didn't work from home, I used to shoot basketball all over the place. I had a nice tan and stuff. Dude, I had 2nd-degree burns on my shoulders. They bubbled up. I had one that was the size of a dinner plate between my shoulders. And my wife had to pop it, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I had to sleep on a freaking pad that was sprayed with Dermaplast because it was burnt so bad. And yeah, but not no more. Hopefully this next time I go out, it'll be good.
So that sounds horrible, but
Yeah.
what is this Dermaplast you?
It's like it's like for burns, for actual burns.
Okay.
Like in a kitchen and stuff. But they wanted to take me to the hospital because I had sunburn. So like it bubbled up like with these giant pus. One was seriously like this big between my shoulders. And it could have filled when she popped it, it could have filled up like a 12-ounce cup.
Oh,
It was so
Damn,
like
man.
it felt like a weight like was literally taken off my back, and I was like, "All right." I didn't wear a shirt all week, and I
Oh.
probably wouldn't be if it weren't for FCC regulatory things, and plus the viewers, brains. I don't want them to explode with the soft serve ice cream body that I have.
Fun fact: in the military, if you get sunburns that bad, they can give you an Article 15 for damage to government property.
Oh, you definitely are government property. So
Didn't know that.
Something-
Dude, that sucks, man.
something cool happened this week for me. Everybody
Oh, I
that
thought
watches
you-
good.
You said that backstage. I thought it was just that the thing popped. I was going to say
Oh
congratulations, man.
no, she popped it. She took a needle and went like that.
Well,
it was
congratulations
so
either
heavy.
way.
But the movie theater that I go to, people I've told you guys about, it's like a cheap throwback theater, really cool. Well, it's like connected to like a kind of like an old plaza, like with a bunch of rundown places, and they were doing construction on the thing right next to it. So I was wondering, like, well, what are they putting in there? Is it going to be something cool or like a nail salon, so whatever. I was
Pickleball
like,
court.
I hope it's not. So my wife sends me this this picture of a flyer, and the guy who owns the movie theater, he opened up a record store, right? But it's all like a records throwback media, and it also is a comic book store, and it is fucking huge. And they have first run
badass.
comics and like full runs of stuff. The wall is like literally like 50 feet long, and it was just wall to wall comic books. And I went in there and I said, "Hey, do you guys do pull lists?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "I want to start one 100%." And he was like, "All right, well, what do you read?" And I was like, "Okay, let's do this." I was like, "Well, do you have a list for your inventory?" He was like, "Why?" I was like, "Dude, I spend like $500 a month on comic books." He's like, "Dude, there's no way." And we went through and I started a pull list, and I in fact spent $574 in comic books this month. And he just looked at me and was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, yes." So I bought some stuff, even though I already had it. I just bought some things just because I felt like it. But yeah, dude, all nice stuff. Really cool, man. They got some really
Dude,
cool
that's
old
awesome.
comic books there as well. And it's connected to the movie theater. And he's going to be doing board game nights where they're going to have old movies playing, and people that want to go play board games and stuff can go through the side and just go into the back and play board games. And like there's going to be like themed nights. He's doing a Clue night where they're going to play Clue the movie and play Clue in the board game area. And I said, "I will be there." So that was pretty cool, man. I'm kind of excited about that. So yeah. So kind of happy about that. But anyway, so movies that haven't aged well. And I know we always talk about something like what got us into whatever beforehand, but I'm going to start asking this question here. Start with this.
Ah,
When did you realize, or when were you first like kind of made aware of, or what movie? If it's on your list, you don't have to name it, or you could just say that the time frame or something like that. When did you like realize that movies or something that you liked could possibly be something now that wasn't acceptable or did not age well? Bob?
For me, it probably wasn't until my 20s. When you kind of go back and you watch some of the stuff that you watched like in the 80s, for example, and you're kind of like, oh, by today's standards, that just doesn't hold up. A good example, and it's not on my list, but a good example would be E.T.
E.T. does not hold up at all.
Yeah, and it's partly because after E.T. you had other films that came out that did aliens much better.
Mhm.
I mean, when you have something like Independence Day come out, which I know they're not exactly the same type of film, but they just did aliens and the ships and everything much better. And you kind of go back to E.T. and you're kind of like, oh, he's riding around in that little basket. It's just a little doll, And- yeah, exactly. And so you're just kind of like the look of it doesn't hold up. And so I think that's kind of where I noticed it, because at that time you had stuff like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that coming out. So they were making huge strides in the CGI they had already made in the 90s, where they had made huge leaps, but they were making more leaps again. And so it was kind of like, oh yeah, some of that stuff just doesn't look like what you remember it.
Yeah, the only thing that really holds up, and we all know this from E.T., is "Shut up, penis breath." That's it. It's the only thing that holds up.
That's your favorite part.
What
But
can
you-
you say?
you-
What can you say to
Reese's
that?
Pieces.
You can't say any.
Reese's.
If someone calls you penis breath, you can't say anything to it. There's no comeback, because not only is he inferring that you suck the dick, you have the breath of a penis.
Well, you're also implying that you could smell penis on somebody. You were that familiar with its aroma. So I don't know,
Well,
man.
if
It
you
doesn't
have
seem like the
one-
greatest.
Oh, it is, Gray. It is. When you're 8 years old and you don't deeply think about the repercussions or the demands of what comes with penis breath, there is nothing for you. What would you have said? Would you have been at 8 years old, been like, well, you're so familiar with penises that you know what they smell like?
Well, you got
You
to
appear
remember.
to be
You'd
the
have been
penis
like-
expert.
You'd have been like, shut up, vagina lips. I'm out
Yeah,
of
I
here.
was gonna say,
Fuck you.
penis breath was an upgrade from what you used a few years earlier, which was like he's a poo-poo head, or so you've matured up a little bit.
Yeah. See?
I was wrong. Bob is never wrong.
Never
Thank you,
wrong.
Bob.
Bob
That's
straightens
twice.
us
We
out.
need to clip both of those.
Twice. It's 2 times now.
2 times it's been mentioned.
So Warren, same type of question.
For me, and this will go with the theme of my list too. I was huge growing up into action movies. I still am, and I was big into martial art films. And when I was 18 years old in AIT, I had to do a 24-hour CQ, which is essentially you sit by a phone for 24 hours. And the guy that I was doing that with showed me Jet Li's Fist of Legend. And that was the first time I had ever watched a real martial arts film. And it completely destroyed every American martial art film that I had watched beforehand after watching Fist of Legend.
Even American Ninja?
Yes, even American Ninja.
Michael Dudikoff?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still love watching Bloodsport and old Van Damme stuff and Kickboxer and stuff along those lines. But it just after was introduced to Jet Li and then Jackie Chan and then just kind of the cascading of all those people, it's just it just ruined everything else for me growing up. Was all of those action movies or all those martial art films in America did not even hold a candle to what the Chinese were doing. And since then, it's gotten better now. Like we're almost in a renaissance of martial art films now. But it's like, it's Only the Strong. Well, okay, Only the Strong. It's charm, but it's not. It doesn't hold up.
Gray, same question, sir.
Yeah. So a similar answer to all you guys, but I don't know. It hit me like right away. So when I was a kid, they used to play like I don't know, midday movies, and then like on the weekends, those like Saturday movies. They were always like 80s comedies and stuff. I thought they were just amazing, and I would kind of like bring them up, and everyone I'd talk to about them was like, "Oh, those suck. Those are horrible. Like that is the worst brand of comedy." I think Nightmares and Nerdscapes pointed out Weird Science in there. That would definitely be one of those where it's like, oh, this is hilarious. As a kid, it was hilarious to me. But Yeah, everybody I talked to seemed to say, no, those are horrible comedies. You need to check out some real comedy. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of what shaped my view on things that aged poorly. Just yeah, I think they kind of deserve a little bit more. But what about you, Lapsed? How did
Uh,
you come to that?
I'd say probably like when like DVDs came out and when flat screens came right before HD, when flat screens like tube TV started coming out, and you were getting like like DVDs that were you'd actually see them the way they were supposed to be, and you would see special effects, and you'd noticeably see green screening or like something
Hmm.
was off. You know what I'm saying? Like something just didn't look like the way you saw it in a theater, or I don't know, like non-practical effects. Like that to me, I was like, man, that looks weird. Did that always look that weird? Or were like we couldn't perceive that because the technology that was out, we didn't really notice. Cause like they're like in Lord, even Lord of the Rings, right? You watch the original non-touched up Lord of the Rings, especially
Mhm.
like the Two Towers, whenever Merry and Pippin are on Treebeard, like that scene looks horrible, like compared to what they do now with it, because it looks so bad. You could tell, like you see like the white outlines of them on the thing, dude. It's like just doesn't look right, you know? And so like I noticed that in a lot of other old, even movies I like. And that's kind of where my list is. There's a couple movies I think, or one that's just a regular movie where some of the plots and stuff doesn't hold up. But special effects was the first thing. But the biggest thing I think was whenever people's as I call it, fake morality started changing, because it was okay for them to watch something back then, but oh, we've changed as society. We've matured, and now this thing is offensive. Well, go fuck yourself. It was fine. It had to be just as offensive back then. It's just that you didn't give a shit because no one was telling you it was offensive. But now it's offensive, so you can go eat a dick. That's like kind of what my feeling is. Like I give zero shits if a movie's offensive. Is the movie good? That's the thing. Like I feel the same with like comedy, same way with you, man. Like when I would talk about like, you know, Police Academy or something. Oh, that's so campy and slapstick. Well, it's supposed to be nice. well, you know how I am about continuity, nightmares and nerdscapes. I'm all about continuity here. That's the comic book fan in me. That's what it is. But that I guess that's kind of where I would be leaning. I just didn't understand the fake. It felt like fake moral outrage. That's what it felt like to me. I'm sure there's people that really do feel that way. Don't get me wrong. Like there's some stuff, but like I don't know, man. They're chasing like they're like a dragon chasing the dragon or something. Like it's just kind of ridiculous. It's like, dude, it's a movie. Like stop getting your morality and your ethics from fucking movies. Okay, stop it. TV and movies should not be where you base your
Hey, some of us are
moral
raised
standing.
by movies and TV, man. So
That's
it
fine.
is where some of us get our morality, but
Well, that's horrible,
you,
dude.
you should be able to demonstrate a bunch of it.
That's
You know,
horrible.
it
That's
shouldn't tell you
horrible.
one way to think, but perhaps it
That's
can help
bad.
you envision others and
That's
get
bad.
more empathetic to
bad.
different worldviews.
That's
I
horrible.
don't think so.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
And
The real life
I don't know, man.
experience. I get
So,
more out of
but
one
okay.
walk to the store than I do watching a fucking movie.
So if I can go ahead and try and steelman what you're saying with this
Okay.
is, you know, if anybody changes their morals at any point in history,
Mm-hmm.
it's fake. So like,
No.
should we all be
No.
barbarians, man?
No.
I think things are different and more societally acceptable at different times. But
No, it's a movie.
know.
It's not real. It's not
Okay.
fucking real, dude.
I think we
Like-
should be Vikings, maybe
like,
not
like,
barbarians.
like that's just nonsense.
fair
talk.
enough.
That's nonsense. Talk,
Bob,
man.
do you want to weigh in so that we can know what's right?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
No, I get what Lapsed is saying. That yeah,
Like Schindler's List. Oh, we
Like-
should have killed all those people. I would never have known that
Well-
if not for the movie.
yeah. Like I get what you're saying. To look back at it with modern day lenses, it kind of does the movie a disservice. At the same time, I do understand why people do that though, because again, their morals have changed. Like a movie, I'll be honest, my list changed just prior to the show because I had two ideas of which way I wanted to go with this.
Mhm.
And like one of the movies I had on my list initially was Revenge of the Nerds.
And
Like,
I understand why. I
like,
know why.
Like, I don't think you could make that nowadays, but I'd be lying if I said I did not laugh at that movie and still laugh at that movie. But
Mhm.
looking at it from a modern day lens, there are so many things that are problematic with that.
What,
With
you
that
can't-
film that
you-
people would,
you
yeah,
don't
they
put a
wouldn't make
mask
it
on to
nowadays.
have sex with, have a girl make, have sex with you. You're not gonna wear some mask? Come on.
Exactly. And then literally all those nerds would be in jail, for putting all the cameras around
Yeah,
the sorority house and whatnot, and watching it all, for 24 hours straight.
Or maybe that's where Big Brother got the idea. Maybe they'd get an award.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, that's at the time you could get away with it. It was funny and whatnot, but you look at it with a modern day lens and it's like, yeah, no, that was very problematic. You couldn't do it. So
See, that's where I
for
have
me,
the issue
for
with
me
it.
personally, I still enjoy the movie,
Mhm.
but I understand why a modern audience might not.
Right, and I think that's where I have the problem. It's like, at what point in time does it's entertainment? Like if entertainment can't either invoke reactions of offense, laughter, fun, not everything doesn't have to be for everybody. Like I don't have to sit there and connect with a movie that someone else does. That doesn't mean that I'm like, oh well, we can't, you shouldn't make that movie. That's just, oh my goodness, what are we doing here as people? I mean, it's just like, don't fucking watch it then.
Right.
Like you have that option. People don't have to have an opinion on everything, and
Well-
that's kind of what we live in.
Now I'm super excited to kind of see where Bob did take his list because he said that was option A. So it sounds like he went with option B. So,
Yeah. And
Well,
it
he
was
went
an
with
option.
porn. He went with porn.
yeah, I mean, come on, you can't hold them to the same standards.
Well, I try to put
you know.
movies on there that I enjoy.
I just think
So-
it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious. Like, we still talk about all, we couldn't get away with this, but yet they still make porn that sells in the bazillions. Like,
But does it hold up? Did it
Well,
age poorly? I
there
don't know.
There is something, to quote Charles Xavier, like, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. There is something about looking into a window of what the time periods, the moralities of that time period, and kind of looking at it through that filter, than trying to hide it or discard it, burn it, get rid of it. It's just like, this
100%.
is what they thought about at the time, and this also could teach someone, these are what people are capable of thinking if you're not, if you're not careful when it comes to certain things in media, especially when you get back into the much older stuff. And if you look at propaganda through the different wars and stuff along those lines. So there is something usefulness out of having a window into kind of something about that time period of history. So
yeah, for me, it's like, it's entertainment. I just don't like, we scrutinize entertainment so much to where, like, when it starts at interfering with your real life, then at what point does it stop? Because to
Yeah.
your point, which I do agree with, like, you look back at like how certain races were portrayed in certain things, right? That's not good, right? It's not good. But we also go to, at what point does it stop? You see what I mean? Like, we might be like 5 moralities away from after school specials being what all your movies are. And it's like, I just want to watch giant robots turn into fucking cars. Like, that's all, like, Jesus
What if
Christ.
it's a very special episode of giant robots turning into cars?
Well, Gray, we know that you can't handle a person being turned into a cave monster. So, I'm not going to show you that episode of Car
Well,
Meets World.
what if one of the robot cars has a problem with nitrous and takes too much
Yeah.
of it, and the other ones have to pull him off to the side, teach him that he doesn't need that to hide
Yeah,
his feelings.
and what if the Mercedes Benz start taking over the world and they want everybody else to look like a Mercedes Benz? And then,
That's more of an arc than a single episode. We're just talking about a special episode.
Sure, I'm the Volkswagen Transformer.
Please help me. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's a topic that's definitely worth the discussion though. Because I mean, I'm sure you could tell like some of me is joking, but I do understand. Like I don't want people out there making like, you know, exploitive things, and not like exploitation, but exploitive, like where it's just completely just, you know, narratively and like correct. Because it wouldn't. The thing is like catching up to morality is something that should be ingrained in you already. Like, you know, as you get older, you kind of realize like, hey, that doesn't that might not be right to do. But I also believe in the freedom of, you don't have to watch things, you know, you don't have to. And something that might not be intended as offense, where people could find offense in everything. Like if you look deep enough into anything, you could find whatever you want. You know, that's why the great Homer Simpson line, you know, facts schmacks. You can use facts to prove anything that's even remotely true. I think that's like so funny because it's so true. It's like, you just this potato sandwich, like, fuck, the potatoes don't go in sandwiches. And then it turns into aliens have crash landed here and have ruined sandwiches. So, I mean, like, you could just look into anything too deep and, you know, it takes the entertainment out of it. So, but let's do this list. Bob, you want to start off at number 5, sir?
All right. Number 5 for me, this is arguably the weakest of this franchise. And yet I still like the movie itself, probably more than most people do. But there definitely are some story issues where I don't think it aged well, because it's no longer valid, or at least not by, I wouldn't say by modern standards, but by the way history has kind of gone. And my number 5 is Rambo 3.
Huh.
Yes.
So
wow.
So
Yes.
Rambo 3, I think Rambo 3 had the unfortunate duty of following up First Blood and First Blood Part 2. So it was already going to probably be an inferior film to begin with. And the big storyline is, you know, he has to go save Colonel Troutman over in Afghanistan, and he's helping out the Afghanistan freedom fighters, which we now know are the Taliban. So that not exactly a good, it didn't exactly age well from a story standpoint, because we now know they weren't exactly freedom fighters. And so that, for me, that story itself, it isn't really valid anymore. So even though I still like the film, you know, Rambo with some of his classic lines like "My war's over," you know, and stuff. But yeah, it's still an okay movie. But like I said, you can argue that it's the weakest of the franchise. I think most people would put either that one or the 5th one probably in that spot as the weakest of the franchise. For me, this is probably, in my mind, the weakest. But yeah, story-wise,
Sylvester Stallone did not have Vice President Bush turned President Bush at all on his mind. He didn't handle any of the Afghan stuff through, you know, 80 through 88.
Yeah.
And then scoot on right. He moved on up. He Jeffersoned his way up to the fucking presidency. And Rambo was right behind him. You know? He was right there the whole way. But you said, sorry, the story?
No, yeah. So the story itself just is no longer really valid when you look at it, because again, there were deeper issues there than what the film actually portrays. So yeah, Rambo 3 for me is number 5.
So you pick Rambo. Do you guys ever watch like the Indian or Turkish movies that are like made off of these? Turkish Rambo is one of the greatest things in the history. Oh, you gotta watch it.
Check that one out, because Turkish Star Wars is pretty amazing.
Dude,
Turkish
Rambo and Turkish Superman. When you see this little fat Superman running around with this like curly, Turkish Rambo. Go watch Turkish Rambo. Literally go watch it, or watch anybody review it. And when you see scenes from it, you're just gonna be like, this is pure bliss. This is what cinema is right here. But yeah, dude, Turkish Star Wars is fucking bananas.
That one's awesome. But I'm excited for Rambo. I know what I'm watching later.
I know you'll dig it. Dude, great. You're gonna. There's some scenes in there I know you're gonna love. I know for a fact you will. But that's a good pick. Rambo 3 is a really good pick. I think like
It is.
because it's
Yeah.
like and then when you even get to like Hot Shots Part 2, it's like when they satirize it. Can you do that anymore at all because of the touchy nature of what you just spoke of? The implications are horrible. As Dennis from Sunny in Philadelphia says, it's the implication. So, I mean, I don't even know if you could do that, really, especially with that one. So that's a very good pick. Very good pick.
Thanks.
Warren,
Yeah.
you're number 5?
My number 5 is these are all the movies on my list have aged well because I personally just don't like them anymore. And also too, they would never get made today because no one would actually give this guy work today. So I'm going to start off by reading the synopsis. So see if you guys can guess this. A Chicago cop and former CIA agent Nico Toscani, who uncovers a conspiracy involving drug trafficking and rogue CIA operatives, leading him to use his Aikido skills to fight corruption.
Oh,
This
Jesus
was made
Christ,
in
I know what this
1988.
is.
This is his debut film. It also stars Pam Grier, Sharon Stone, and Henry Silva or Sylvia. I think it's his premiere starring.
It's his premiere starring film. I know
Yeah.
exactly what this is as soon as you said the name.
And
So
it's also
This
Huh?
is can I say it? Can I say
yes,
it?
you can.
ATL?
It's Above the Law.
Above the
Yeah.
Above the Law.
Okay.
ATL, man.
starring Steven Seagal.
Damn, I didn't realize my lady Pam Grier was in that. I got to check that out again.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
if you see the thumbnail for this this show that we did, Gray, you're actually in a Jackie Brown scene.
Nice.
And it didn't age well. But the movie
It didn't.
Did. The movie did. The movie aged well. Actually,
Well, Jackie Brown did, but
Well, no, yes,
Man,
it did. I actually watched it. When was
and
it?
it's a hell of a film.
I watched it. I think it was when I was 6, so it might have been Saturday or Sunday. Those 2 days bled together, but I did watch it, and I will tell you at the end of the show what I thought of it because it did change.
Oh, I'm
You
excited
changed- you
for that
changed
tease.
a little bit of my mind. I will say that.
But we're talking Aikido here for a second.
Yes.
So I always remember Above the Law being like the good one in the back of my mind. I haven't seen it in I don't know how
Well,
much, well
this
over a
is-
decade.
Horrible.
I was
This
more of
is
an Under
him
Siege man.
This is him looking his thinnest because he's very
But
young. in
running
it.
his weirdest still.
And well, that's the thing. It introduced us to his Aikido style. It also introduced us to his really weird run. And it also introduced us to why he should never wear a tank top because he is the most weirdly shaped human being for an action star out
Yes.
of all of the famous action stars from the 80s and 90s. So, yeah, this movie just it ages like buttermilk in a windowsill on a hot summer day. And that's my number 5.
Huh. I think I got to go back and check it out because I remember thinking that was like his good one, where the other ones were like a huge step down from there.
Now, there
So,
are a couple, there are some that may not have aged well, but they aged better than Above the Law. But the Above the Law was kind of his first starring role. And there's other ones I think where he was hitting his stride a little bit better. But
No, Turkish Rambo doesn't have Sylvester Stallone in it, so it's not Rambo. Really? I beg
Well,
to differ,
for
sir.
multi, there can
I-
only be one Rambo, and it's
I
Sylvester.
beg to differ.
I respect it. Multi has a standard that it's Sylvester or no, sir, for him.
Dude, Above the Law also introduces us into Steven Seagal working with Jean LaBelle, and I'm sure everybody knows that story. Didn't happen on Above the Law, but Jean LaBelle supposedly made Steven Seagal shit himself. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. That is amazing. Now it's told by a few people, and then this other guy who said he was there said it did not happen, but he still like tried to use his Aikido on Gene LaBelle, which is just the dumbest. What the fuck are wrist locks gonna do? like what the fuck? Like if UFC has shown us what like works in real fights, I ain't never seen no dude out there fucking doing wrist locks and fucking dancey throws. Like fuck, dude, just like stop it.
Or
Stop it.
waving sticks like this and having some Foley artist clacking in the background, trying to make it look like they're connected.
Oh, dude, it's fucking hilarious. Above the law.
Above the law.
Dude, he's just Steven Seagal might be one of the greatest blues guitarists.
Oh, we should do a Steven Seagal tier list one day.
Oh my
This
god.
gone.
That dude lost the plot in life. That guy lost the fucking plot. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen
I don't
him?
know. He's a legend. There's many a tale about him. I'm just saying.
If you look at all of those action stars, all of them were able to do movies where they kind of made fun of themselves later and had little moments. He has not. He has just gone.
No.
He's gotten bigger around the waist, and his movies have gotten smaller in budget. And now I think he lives in Russia and does human trafficking or some shit like that. But yeah, it's pretty. He's the one that it's like you can't see at any time period where he doesn't where he always takes himself seriously. Like even Van Damme did that movie where he played himself and kind of made fun of himself. Schwarzenegger's done it. Stallone
Everybody's
has
done it, man.
Everyone has done it, but then not Steven Seagal.
No, he's so serious about everything.
You got plenty of others making fun of him. I think Tom Segura on Bad Thoughts had like an entire segment where it was a fictional Seagal. That was pretty great. But
his Seagal thing in his stand-up is also really good too. If you want to hear a really good Steven Seagal story, look up the Rob Schneider Steven Seagal story from Howard Stern. That's a really good one. Schneider does it really well.
I saw an interview with Michael J. White where he said he was in a movie with Seagal, and Seagal was hurting the stuntman, and the director's all like, "Hey, after you guys film this fight scene, we don't need Seagal to finish the movie. We'll pay you to hurt him." And he's like, "Well, no, I'm not going to do that." You're like, "No, we want you to hurt him. Like he's an asshole."
Yeah. Yep. That's true. I saw Jai White talk about that in an interview. All right, so that's a good pick, man. That's a good pick. So my number 5 is Tron. The first Tron.
Tron?
Yeah, dude.
You don't think it aged well, man?
No.
With the graphics.
It's not a good
the arcade
movie.
cabinet.
It's
People
not a
love
good
arcade
movie.
cabinets.
It's not a good movie. I never liked Tron, but looking at it now, it's just even worse. It's just one of those movies that you watch and you're just like, there's no life in it. You know what I mean? There's like, I don't know, man. Like, I think people say they like Tron, but they don't. Like, remember whenever it came back and they put out like the video game for it, and like it was like Tron fucking sucks. Sorry. If you like Tron, I'm sorry. I think it sucks. That is my opinion. And you are entitled to like Tron. That is perfectly fine. I think it is it's right above fucking porn for me. Tron is just fucking dog water bullshit. And it's just, you look at it now and it's like, good Lord. Good.
That almost made my list just from a special effects standpoint.
Get on your cardboard box bike and ride away. Like shit. But yeah, that's my that's
yeah, that almost made my list just from a special effects standpoint.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The movie
like,
itself,
yeah.
I like probably more than what you do, but from a special effects standpoint, yeah, it just doesn't hold up. But a lot of that, I mean, I guess some of it is because of the type of video games they're supposed to be. But even then, they were limited in their special effects. But you look back at it, and I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't hold up, especially when the sequels came out, like Tron Legacy. I think is superior to the original Tron in so many ways.
Well, that's kind of where my list is at, because like I said, I I could really only think of like special effects. I'm not gonna sit here and name plots for movies because it came out in the time it came out. Like I don't care. If I liked something from a while ago and people find it offensive now, good for them. I'm still like the movie. You're not gonna change my mind on it.
Right.
I could be open to the fact that yeah, that's probably wouldn't fly today, but I still like it, you know. But Tron is just one that I never liked. It's like the original Dune. Like I don't get it. Like I just don't get it. Now I did watch the first of the new Dunes, and I thought that was really good. I thought that was awesome. I'm gonna watch the second part soon. I thought that was really cool, and I thank you guys for telling me to watch that one. So
Yeah, they're good, especially when you watch them if you watch them back to back, they're pretty good, or at least pretty close together. Because and then now with the third one coming out, I think that's gonna be pretty good, like a pretty good viewing experience.
Well, we are gonna do we do on Saturday nights. We do out I project movies on the outside of my side yard. So there's only one window on that side for some reason. I don't know why, but it looked great. I have a giant screen, and we do that, and a bunch of neighbors come out and stuff, and they chill, and they come out of the woodwork, man. Like 2 weeks ago, we had like 30 people in my yard just standing there watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
That's cool.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. But
Glad-
all right.
I hope nobody has that one on our list because that one aged perfectly. It is.
Yeah,
I
so
love being a turtle.
I will leave.
Damn.
Man.
Damn. Great.
All right. Well, I took this a little bit differently than Laps did.
Do we need to play your controversy thing? Do we?
I don't think so. I don't think this is going to be controversial at all.
Okay.
I think people think that this movie aged horribly, but the way that we kind of set it up is like movies we love, but aged horribly. So for me, there's like one series that comes to mind, and there's one specific movie in the franchise that comes to mind, but I'm kind of doing the whole franchise here. A lot of people say that the comedy just isn't good. It doesn't hold up. And I disagree. There's a lot of political things in it too. Reliance on stereotypes, the treatment of like LGBTQ characters, essentially homosexuality played for laughs, and then sexual harassment played for laughs, objectification of women, limited roles for women. Really broad caricatures and comedy kind of based on like humiliation. It's called repetitive, and it's just 80s sensibilities. But that being said, it made me laugh my ass off. So I've got the Police Academy series as my number 5. But specifically, people talk shit on the later Police Academies. I think there were 7 movies in total. Well, number 4 is like peak for me. Citizens on Patrol. Come on, you've got David Spade in there now on top of Mahoney. What can I say?
You named all of those things and then said Police Academy. They're like,
oh yeah,
it's fucking Police Academy.
It's Police Academy. I'm just saying, a lot of people don't hold it in great esteem as far as like comedy movies go. If you bring it up, it's usually to make fun of something like, oh yeah, like the Police Academy series. I gotta say, it introduced me to a bunch of comedic actors. It's where I got the best Gutenberg that I've ever had. So what can I say? I love me some Officer Mahoney. Man, there's some amazing actors in it. Everyone. So, of course, you've got Michael Winslow. I think this would be the go-to Michael Winslow thing. Yeah, he's in Spaceballs and he's in a few other ones, but when you're talking about Michael Winslow, it's Police Academy.
Yes.
You got Bubba Smith in there as Hightower. Like, how do you not love Hightower? David Graff as I can't picture him as any character other than Tackleberry. And man, he is the best version of that stereotype. Like, he just is, the big dumb gun guy who's hyper enthusiastic and perhaps not a thinker. But
my gun.
But you've got other things too, like Captain Harris in there, G.W. Bailey. He's amazing. He's Commandant Lesarge, George Gaines. Everyone is kind of amazing in here. Bobcat Goldthwait. I love me some Bobcat as Zed. it kind of shows you that you can reform. You could be a criminal in one
Yeah,
movie
good.
and then come back as a cop the next one.
Did you stealing? Did you not learn anything? Why do you think I showed you all those police academy movies?
But you've also got like Leslie Easterbrook as Callahan. So yeah, it might not have the most for a woman to do in the series, but surprisingly, they've got like Sharon Stone in this one. I think Kim Cattrall was in the first one.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of lovely ladies who have gone through this series, but yeah, I think okay, the Mission to Moscow sucks, but there's some decent things in the Police
How
Academy series.
Dare
So
you, sir? How dare you?
Yeah, it sucks.
so yeah,
Yeah,
and
terrible.
Marion Ramsey as Hooks.
It is
Come on,
terrible.
I love me some squeaky voiced little lady. She's awesome. Yeah, man, I dig a lot of what goes on in this, and I'm sorry, it deserves better than its current reputation. So I think, sadly, it's aged poorly, but I love the hell out of it, man. Check out Citizens on Patrol. It's a great one.
Bob.
Well lapsed.
All right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
My turn. Or
Yeah, you're good.
all right. So, my number 4 is from 1990.
Ooh.
It involves 4 heroes in a half shell. I'm just teasing, as you guys said, it better not be. On
Wow,
the-
you
I was
really are
say,
going to put that one
I'm
up there?
leaving
I'm just
right now,
teasing.
Bob. Bob's not
So,
always right.
How dare
Yeah.
you?
Bob,
so-
I'll sit here for you, man. You're good.
Okay, so mine is the second of a franchise, and I don't think it's aged as well because one, when you match it up with modern day fight sequences in this genre, as well as there's another version of the film that has come out since then that I think has some improvements on the story. And so my number 4 is Superman 2, the theatrical version.
Oh, dude.
And
Ah,
All right, so that's
Hmm.
that's my number 4.
okay, so we can piggyback off that. And
Yeah.
and part of the reason is because I think the Richard Donner cut is actually better. Now the special effects or I shouldn't say the special effects, but some of the scenes aren't finished with the Richard Donner version, so it's hard to sit there and say. But there was some story stuff in it that I thought were improvements.
yeah, but the ending.
now that's where I'll give you that. I think the ending was better
Ah.
in the theatrical cut. That's
Yeah.
probably the only thing. But the biggest thing for me involves the fights in
The fights, yes.
when you match this up, say, to Man of Steel. Well, I mean, we could argue about the quality of the movie, but when it
Right.
comes to the fight sequences themselves, Man of Steel's got some pretty intense fight sequences, and it really highlights Superman's powers with how fast he can move and how powerful he can be. So I think, given some of the stuff they do in Superman 2, where he pulls out a mirror, and holds it up and it reflects the heat vision.
What's the this?
Yes,
What is that?
or when he turns into like 4 different versions of himself,
Of
like
himself?
holograms and stuff like that.
Like,
It's like,
how did
Yeah.
that? What happened here?
yeah, so
Yeah.
there are some things there in Superman 2 that haven't aged very well. And itself, I still like the movie. I like, I could sit down right now and still enjoy it.
Right.
But from a story standpoint, I do think that it's weaker than the Donner cut, except for the ending. I'll give you that. And I do
Because he did the
think
same
that-
exact thing. He just did the
Yeah,
same
and I
thing.
do think the special effects.
So my issue with Superman 2 is it was basically it didn't really it tried to advance the story, right? But it screwed up in the fact of, okay, I need my powers again, right? To fight off the Kryptonian Zod and hairy face and barbarian lady. So the problem I have is they set it up to where you did this, you cannot, there's no way. If you remember, even in the Donner cut, they really hit into like, there's no way for you to do this again. You can't do this. And then they just go into a chamber and like, okay, and stuff happens. And I disliked how in the first movie, they did a lot of cool things by showing it at regular speed to show like that he was they slowed down everything.
Yeah.
And I know what they were doing. They tried to make it seem like it was more impactful, right? They
It
tried
was
to make
impactful on Snyder.
but
Just
but it
saying.
wasn't impactful on the way that it should have been, right? Like maybe if they showed like the hit happen in slow motion and then sped it up afterwards, maybe that would have worked, but they kept things fully, and it's so fucking weird. Like why do they always do that with Superman? They ground him here and then it just goes off into this weirdness that just is unexplainable, doesn't make sense. And you're right, even the Donner cut, which has some things that are unfinished, was still better than the original theatrical cut. But I'm not a big fan of Superman 2. So when people were telling me that the Donner cut was like this like, you know, oh my god, this amazing, and it wasn't what I thought it would be, like, you know, because they kept the same exact ending. They might as well have just like, how many times is Superman gonna fly around the earth and go back in time and just go, and they kept the same stuff too from the first movie, you know, you know, that whole thing. It's like the same thing, and it's like, dude, no thank you, no thank you.
Odd though.
Yeah, so that's my number 4.
That's my number 4 as well.
It unfortunately just hasn't aged well. I mean, I loved it as a kid. I still like it now, and I can still watch it.
Yeah.
It's just it just hasn't aged as well.
I actually before the newest Superman came out, me, like, you know, my family movie night, my mom and I watched Superman 1, 2, and 3. Couldn't get through 3 though. And I didn't even want to watch 4. There's just no way I'll ever watch that again.
See, I think 3 is actually not a badly made film. It's a bad
dude.
Superman film. It's a terrible
Richard
Superman
Pryor is
film.
so annoying in that movie.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Like, if you were to take, like, it could be almost any other superhero, and I think that it might be a little bit better because it's a Superman movie, it doesn't work. And then it was almost like they took like 3 or 4 different ideas and kind of threw them all together and tried to see kind of what stuck or whatnot. So it just doesn't flow as well.
7-minute scene of Richard Pryor explaining his interaction with Superman. It's fucking 7 minutes.
See, and that's another reason why I say it's a bad
Nightmare-
Superman film, is because it is a Richard Pryor film. It's not a
It totally is. It
it's
actually,
not a Superman film.
you're right. You're right.
That the nightmare inducing like robot conversion scenes in 3 where it's turning the machines turning them into robots. That gives kids nightmare, man.
I mean, it's no Rockwall, but yeah.
Oh
They don't
yeah,
like our-
like
they don't
Ross,
like our takes,
Ross the
man.
boss.
They don't like our takes. It's rough. It's a rough world out here we live in.
It's tough.
But that says here, I thought I had bad takes. We got discount.
Yeah,
Being terrible
like I don't think
grade.
it's as I don't think it's as bad as like as what some people say, but at the same time, it's not good. Like it would be on the Christopher Reeves film, it would be at number 3 on my list. Like for me, they actually go in order: the first, second, third, and fourth, as far as how I would rank them.
Yeah,
That's not
Like I
that
think,
outrageous.
like
where,
I think 3 is better than 4.
some of us do have some outrageous things, like Multi in there, who apparently doesn't like our taste. Just keep in mind that criticism is coming from a dude who ranked Godfather 3 as the best in the series. So we've all got our hot takes.
I mean, look, everybody likes what they like. That's the great part about this. And I encourage people to shit all over, at least what I say. I encourage you guys to, because like the great thing about me is like whenever you shit on me, I'm still gonna go to sleep on a pile of money with many beautiful ladies, so it doesn't really matter. So, all right, Warren, you're number.
Well, if you talk shit about me, I'm just going to get sad on the inside and write about it in my journal. So
That journal has many locks on it, and those all are keys to Warren's heart. You don't talk bad about him.
my number 4 is a 1990 film, and just like the last one, I'm going to read the synopsis to it.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It is a retired DEA agent, John Hatcher, returns to action to fight a Jamaican drug posse led by the villainous Screwface after they target his family in Chicago. This one is Marked for Death, which is
Are these all Steven Seagal movies?
they are all
None of them aged.
Steven Seagal movies because nothing he's done is aged well.
That is awesome. Awesome.
Well,
yes.
I gotta say, what was the one? He's in it for like 2 seconds. Executive Decision.
Executive Decision.
That one- That one wasn't horrible. I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite Seagal film.
But yes, it says here it's like Seagal's signature keto skills against drug dealing gang that uses voodoo. Apparently, it was a
Of course.
box office success.
Oh, it's that one. I
Yes.
love that one. I think that's my favorite actual Seagal one. Oh man, to me, nostalgically, it aged perfectly. But what am I missing, Warren?
This stereotypical portrayal of Jamaicans apparently struck on the nerves of some people in this movie.
Dude.
But we don't have to see him in a tank top in it, so that's also very much better.
Every Steven Seagal like Indian scene is always like the funniest shit ever, you know, because he ends up like giving you this in-depth stuff that is such bullshit, and like the Indian people were like pissed about this. Like, we don't do that. Like, oh no, yes you do. Oh, okay, Steven Seagal. Like, all right, thanks.
It's like Steven Seagal reminds me of like if you like he doesn't have nearly the talent of, but like Sean Connery is Sean Connery in every movie. Steven Seagal, whether he plays a Russian, a Native American Indian, a Chinese person, whatever he plays in his role, he is just hair slicked back Steven Seagal in everything that he does, just
Yes,
without any talent.
yes, very true. All right, Gray, you're number 4.
You're muted, sir.
You're muted, bud.
Damn it. Fair enough. I don't want to be
Fair
accused
enough.
of just going after Gutenberg franchises.
Oh,
I wasn't
oh.
doing the Warren thing here. I wasn't just going after the Goots, but a lot of his things haven't aged particularly well. But sadly, he jumped ship before this one happened. So yeah, I'm thinking Short Circuit 2. So the synopsis is Johnny Five comes to the city and gets manipulated by criminals who want him for their own purpose. And yeah, man, this film, it was very influential on me. Los Vatos, they have this song, this rhyme. I could still recite it to the day. It really had a lot of influence on me when I was a kid. I still remember loving this. I remember Michael McKean from way back when. I think this introduced me to Michael McKean. I think I saw this before I ever saw like Spinal Tap or anything else really with him in it. And man, I didn't realize at the time what was going on with Fisher Stevens playing Ben Javiri. But yeah. So it's weird. They've got a super white dude that they're making do a very stereotypical Indian accent after he's painted brown. It's interesting, especially if you've seen some of Fisher Stevens' later work. Like, just man, it looks nothing like the character that they put on the cover of this one. I just, it kind of boggles the mind why they would kind of go this, yeah. But I remember loving it, and like there's certain elements of it that like really stick out in my mind, but it hasn't aged well. Where kind of beforehand we talked a little bit about like Tropic Thunder. That has aged really well in my opinion. There's some people who are upset at it, but it's doing like the blackface for a reason. This one kind of isn't. I can't see any societal commentary that's going on with this particular one, and then the choice of like the exaggerated ethnic accent. I don't know. It's very interesting, and then on top of that, there's just like very broad comedic style that's in it, almost cartoonish villains, especially with Los Vatos, the gang. And then yeah, people have also criticized like the gender dynamics in the movie. So it socially hasn't aged
Oh,
well,
boy.
but I gotta say I do have a place in my heart for it. I don't think they were doing it to necessarily make fun of a group of people, but I can see how it would be very offensive to them.
I mean,
I
I know that I usually get my race and gender relations from Johnny Five.
from
So
robot
I'm
movies.
very upset at this movie.
But Johnny Five is alive. I
Johnny
don't know,
Five
man.
alive.
I dug it a lot back in
Yeah,
the day, but
sure,
I
thank you.
I don't think it holds up nearly as much as say like Batteries Not Included or something like that, where there isn't this like weird element that's kind of hovering over it. Just I don't know if I saw this today where they're just painting some white dude, I think I might feel weird about it.
I
But
wouldn't. I'd be like,
I
yeah,
don't know.
whatever.
Well, they would just hire
fair
an
enough.
Indian actor. This if they did a reboot.
I
They
think
would
so.
just-
Yeah, it would just be Aziz Ansari essentially.
yeah,
But
sorry would be perfect for that role.
No,
But
they should
yeah,
just
it's-
redo it exactly the way it was.
Ryan Reynolds.
well, there's some interesting stuff in the movie, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think even though I have a love for it, yeah, it did not age well. So that's my number 4.
Jesus Christ.
Also, no Gutenberg. If there was Gutenberg, I would say it would have aged better. But yeah,
Bob, you're number 3.
All right, my number 3 is the newest one on my list, or I shouldn't say newest, but most
Ooh.
recent one on my list as far
All
as when it released. Not that it released like last week or anything like that, but it was the 7th film in a franchise.
Oh God.
There's a lot of revisionist history when it goes to this film, or when it comes to this film,
Mm.
because
Are
the
we
film
talking
was very
Mission
well
to Moscow?
received. The film was very well received when it came out, and
but not the Police
the-
Academy one. Though.
and the problem is that as time passed and people started thinking about it, and the 8th film in the franchise came out that absolutely trashed the everything that was possibly set up with that film, and absolutely caused people to view not just the sequels to it, but that film in a
Oh.
huge negative light. And that for me is Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I think people want to have revisionist history when it comes to Episode 7. Don't get me wrong, Episode 7 has a lot of problems, but it was very well received when it first came out.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you can't deny that. It was very well received by the general audience, by most people. People loved it, going crazy for it. It set up a lot of interesting ideas that could be explored. Problem was they didn't give you the answers to any of it, and they didn't have it written down on paper as to what those answers were. The director and his mystery box idea left it up to the next director, who took the script for that 7th film, wiped his ass with it, and wrote the 8th film, which had nothing to do with everything that was set up. And because of that, you got 2 films that are completely disjointed. And then you throw in Episode 9, which you bring the original director back, who tries to bring some of those ideas back, plus try to correct some of the stuff that was screwed up, only to turn around and cause more problems. And you get a trilogy that is completely disjointed. And because of that, you look back at The Force Awakens, and now a lot of the people that did receive that film very well, including myself, that received it well despite its issues, now look at it and it's like, that's a crap film, just like every other one in that trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. You have a Snoke that you kill, which could have played very well, right? And
Right.
then you end up wiping your ass with them, and then you get a fucking Weekend at Bernie's Palpatine.
Yeah. And there were so many things that they didn't answer questions to or anything like that. And they just kind of figure, oh, well, you're going to forget about it or whatnot. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, when the film came out, there were a lot of problems. The fact that we never got the big 3 on screen together was a huge problem. That,
Huge letdown. Yeah.
yeah. The way some of those characters were treated was
Horrible.
yeah. So I'm not
Horrible.
denying that the film has a lot of problems, but again, it was well received regardless.
Super well
of those
received,
problems.
man.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah,
well
and
received.
so if the follow-up had actually been a good film and answered some of those questions, I don't think people would be looking back at episode 7 in such a poor light. They might not particularly like it as much in the trilogy, but again, the fact that that is probably the best film of that trilogy says a lot about the trilogy as a whole.
Yes.
But again, people look back at it very poorly because of what came after it. So it didn't age very well. But that's why I say it's the most recent on my list, because that came out in 2015. So
Yeah.
what 11 years ago?
As
That's
bad
an
as that
excellent point.
trilogy is, like I can't even watch 8. I can't even watch that movie. And then you watch 9, and how horrible is that? And the fact
Yeah.
that I can watch
Yeah.
that over that because of what happened in 7.
Well-
It's like, what the fuck?
It's really an excellent
It
point.
is a hot
like,
take. Ryan Johnson is a genius. I agree. He did a masterpiece, and it is the best of the entire bunch. But sorry, Warren, you were saying something?
Well, I was just saying it's very interesting because I think you're 100% right, Bob. Like, if the following films were actually paying attention to what J.J. Abrams was setting up and were better films, cohesive, better
Yes.
films, 7 would be the weakest of the 3, but it would be loved because it's kind of your play it safe fan service movie.
Yes. Yes.
But what's crazy is it's not aged well, but it's still probably the best of the 3.
Yeah.
And that's saying it's just, and that's not saying that it's good. It's just out of the 3, it's the best one because it's like the most cohesive out of it. Ryan Johnson's Last Jedi was almost like an FU to J.J. Abrams. He essentially took everything
It's
J.J.
an
Abrams
FU to
set up.
Star Wars.
Well, yeah, everything J.J. Abrams set up, he made it a point to demolish.
Demolish
And then
it.
he left the third act director with absolutely nothing. It was very almost vindictive on how this played out. And I would love to know what happened behind the scenes, because it almost feels personal when you look at like, okay, how are you helping this trilogy with that second movie by destroying all of the plot lines set up by J.J. Abrams
Well,
and then leaving absolutely nothing for the third movie? Like you
Yeah.
left
one example
nothing
could
behind.
be he decided that he didn't have to use anything that Abrams set up for him, so he's not going to set anything up for the next person to grab. You know, they're just going to do their own thing.
That makes absolutely no sense when it's a trilogy.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. When you have
No,
a masterpiece
no,
like The
no.
Last Jedi, TLJ all the way. What can I say? It is the best of that trilogy. But you know, that's
you
okay.
smoke a lot of fucking weird shit, dude.
Not that weird.
Dude, that
It's
movie
normal.
is fucking horrible.
You're
I'm
just
a-
looking at it wrong.
am I? Am I?
Mhm.
You ever
Okay.
tried looking at it on shrooms? It's a lot better on shrooms.
Like,
I got lost when I tried, but what can I say? Every other time I've watched it, it's been amazing. And
Last
what can
Jedi
I say?
is fucking
We don't deserve
terrible.
the masterclass that is Last Jedi.
Oh,
Ryan
it's
Johnson. I
terrible.
can't wait for your next movie, sir.
What's good about it? Like,
Oh, so much, man. The throne room scene. Have you seen the milking of the sirens?
so what
come
I'm
on,
saying,
man.
like
There's
story
so much.
wise, what is like good about it?
Story wise, let me see.
So you turned into a bunch of smoke. All right, we're done.
I did.
We're done.
There's
Just
a
like
reason
the
for
plot.
that.
We're done.
like
So we got the porgs. We got the green milk canister. Come on, man. The siren with the green milk and the porgs.
done.
There's so much
That's
good
not
stuff
story.
going on.
That's
there.
merchandising.
Oh, it's all story, man. You got to find out what happens when a dude who doesn't want to be found is handed a lightsaber.
The sacred Jedi text. What about him?
Oh,
Shut up.
Don't remember saying any of that, but fair
No,
enough.
I'm saying that is Luke Skywalker.
Well, somehow Palpatine returned, so we're all good now.
somehow.
That's because Ryan Johnson killed Snoke.
Yeah,
like easily and
unceremoniously.
easily
didn't expect
you
it.
could have Ryan Johnson made the decision of Kylo Ren is such a strong character that we will make him the big bad of the movies.
I think that's where he was going. But
Of course it was.
JJ
And it's a
wanted
terrible
a
decision.
redemption thing. Yeah.
It's a terrible decision. Horrible.
Well, he's got a helmet, man. There's a precedent. Helmet equals bad.
So,
well, didn't he have him crush his helmet and destroy it? So we never
So-
saw what the helmet is.
So Warren, yeah.
Yes, sir.
God, which Jesus Christ.
That's why you're awesome, Gray.
What is your number 3? Good
My
Lord.
number 3 is another 1990s movie, and it's about an LAPD detective, Mason Storm, who awakens from a 7-year coma after a hit on his family by a corrupt politician, Senator Vernon Trent. And then he bangs his nurse after he does this really weird running training montage in order to save the day with Aikido, and that is Hard to Kill. Now, I liked this movie as a kid. It wasn't my most favorite Steven Seagal movie, but it was kind of funny. Like he took photographs of the senator, and the senator had his wife killed, and they were foolishly tried to kill him with bullets, which is impossible. And then he ends up in a coma with a beard and a hot nurse, and then she saves him, and then he trains himself back to be able to fight again, and then he bangs her on the floor in the third act, which usually would happen in 90s movies, was the third act sex scene. And before the
Third act
final fight.
climax.
Yeah. Then he went on and Aikido'd everyone and saved the day. So Hard to Kill, my third choice. It is the Last Jedi of a Steven Seagal film.
Oh, the subversion of expectations. You expect that a bullet is going to like penetrate him, but no, he uses the bullet's own energy
It just
against
puts
it.
him to sleep for 7 years.
Yeah. Interesting choice. I remember mocking that one extensively. So
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see why that's on your list.
Hard to Kill. Oh my God.
Because he was hard to kill. You just let him sleep. He's like Superman. You kill him and you bury him, and then he comes back with a black suit on and long hair.
Jesus. I love that it's all Steven Seagal. I think that's so awesome. It makes
He's
me
not
happy.
wrong.
No, he's not. Not. So my number 3 is the Pierce Brosnan 007 Die Another Day. Is that what it was called, or is that what it is? Which one's the third one? Is it World Is Not Enough, or one of those? I can't remember. It's the third Pierce Brosnan one. I think it was Die Another Day, right?
The World Is Not Enough is the one where it's like the news broadcaster guy has like some kind of laser or something, isn't it? Where he's like fighting in the ice castle hotel.
I just can't remember. I just know that like it started off decent with Goldeneye. I think that's a good movie. And then they just progressively got worse.
Yeah.
Okay. The third one's World Is Not Enough. That I think is that the with Halle Berry. Okay. No, you're right. Yes. Thank you. It is the Die Another Day. It's the fourth movie. The one where he parachutes and fucking dances over the top of the water. Oh, dude, so bad. They just progressively got dumber and dumber with him. Like I was excited when I heard Pierce Brosnan was going to be 007. And when GoldenEye came out, I mean, it was awesome. And they kept the trope of Sean Bean dying, like, oh, it was great movie. And then they just got worse and worse and worse and worse. So you are correct. I agree with you on this. He says, movie's awful, but it's amazing to watch for the wrong reasons. It's like those 007 movies are supposed to be like, it's the special effects aren't going to hold up. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the like parachute scenes, like from the older ones, stuff like that, the skiing scene, stuff like that. But by the time we got to this part, we had stuntmen that were good enough to do things, right? We had good enough stuntmen. And the fact that they still green screen shit and it just looks so, it's almost like, it's like Spy Hard levels of things. And where Spy Hard is actually fun and ridiculous. And, this was just awful, man. It was so bad. And I remember Pierce Brosnan. My mom, when I was young, my mom used to watch Remington Steele. That show with Pierce Brosnan and that lady. I can't remember her name, but like she loved that show. So I had known Pierce Brosnan for a long time. And whenever it's 007, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Like British guy, good looking dude, black, hair, slicked back. Makes sense. And it started being less about 007 than it did about like the Bond girl. You'd hear more about like the Bond, who's the next Bond girl. And like it got to the point where like dudes in the back of a car controlling the car with his watch and just evading nuclear blasts. Like it just so bad, dude. So bad. So bad. Yeah. But yeah, it's
Good
bad.
choice.
It's bad. Yeah. But that's kind of where I feel like, because we talked about Casino Royale, right, Bob? That was on.
Yeah.
And
that was the one we watched.
If you remember, whenever I was talking about Pierce Brosnan, when we talked about certain guys that we liked, and I was like, I wish that would have worked out a lot better. Like they did him wrong, I think, because I don't know how you feel, but I thought his movies just progressively got worse and worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is my number 3. So Gray.
Yeah. So my number 3. I doubt this would be on any of your guys' lists.
Oh, really?
I kind of doubt if many of you.
Is Steven
have
Seagal
seen
in it?
It's a different Steve. So it's from the year 2000. It's kind of a smaller film. Almost every actor in it you wouldn't know of, but it does star Donald Logue, and man, it's an interesting performance. I think it won a couple of awards back in the day. I think it was a couple of the festivals. But it's this weird little 2000s movie called The Tao of Steve. I don't know if you guys have ever even seen or heard of this thing. It's a weird thing. There's an underachieving, overweight kindergarten teacher who finds a woman to break him out of his kind of Zen-like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not quite manosphere, but kind of pickup artistry type of deal where he has this system of kind of educating other men how to pick up women. And part of it is about being Tao. So essentially don't want anything, and somehow that will make them want you more. It is very comedic, and it is both written and directed by a woman as well. So I don't know. Nowadays, it gets a lot of kind of sexist, weird connotation from it. People are saying like the central dating philosophy is manipulative, kind of like the whole, pickup artist thing. And then women are treated as goals to be won. There's gender stereotypes. There's weird romantic persistence. There is that kind of she keeps saying no until she is actually interested thing. Apparently that's, not necessarily acceptable now. There is the whole like cool guy masculinity thing that's going on in it. And it is kind of proto pickup artist. But that being said, man, I just kind of love this film. And the performance from Donald Logue is just kind of amazing. And I don't know, at the time it gave kind of bigger guys something to be like, that there is not only a leading man in a movie who can kind of represent this thing, but man, he's succeeding. I know it helped get me a lot of confidence back in the day. But yeah, man, I absolutely love this film, but I had never shown it to my wife, and I made her watch it. I think it was like a year or two ago. It hits different nowadays. I didn't realize kind of how gamified they were kind of making the whole dating thing. I don't know that I believe the philosophy that's in it, but it's not necessarily saying that that's correct either. There is growth that goes on with the characters. I think people probably aren't going to look past a lot of the setup to actually find what the meaning of the movie is. But yeah, to me, I absolutely love it, but I don't think it's aged well, and I don't hear anyone talking about it anymore. But yeah, it's a little indie darling that I absolutely love. The Tao of Steve. None of you have probably even heard
the
of it.
The only Tao I do is the Tao of Decay.
Fair enough.
My.
Oh my.
I don't know what to say to that, Gray.
Fair enough.
Sounds like that Will Smith movie.
Kinda. Except for you'd have to have Kevin James be like the Hitch character, like the one
okay.
giving the dating advice, and it's like I shouldn't be getting laid, but look at me, I am. It's an interesting film, but it has that 2000s indie kind of sentiment to it. They're definitely not kind of films that would be made today, but I dig that one.
See, it's hard for me to think like something wouldn't be made today when shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia exist.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
I
hard
hear
for me
ya.
to think that, and like South Park still exists. You know, it's maybe
Right.
like maybe the ballless wonders are just not willing to do it. You know, we just don't know. You know, because those shows are still successful. You know, they're still
I
on
think
the
it would
air.
just hit differently. I like back then it was quirky. Nowadays, I think it would be like fedora tipping, and that wasn't what it was kind of going for. Um, it's different, but I hear what you're saying. I think you could make it. I just think it would be. I don't know. Do people even look back at like Hitch fondly? It is kind of that, just if you reverse the leads.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on probably how you looked at the movie when you originally saw it. Like, I, I,
Yeah.
I could see the sentiment of saying, this might not go well, but me feeling different about the movie, I don't think I personally would. Like, any of these movies, like, I still feel the same about. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not as troubled, by those things as some other people are, maybe. Or maybe, you know, I also am very socially unaware. I 100% totally admit that. Like that is not a thing that I do well with. So
I'm not saying I was super aware of it. That's why I put it on to watch with my wife, and it was just like, oh, this is not a pleasant comedic romp that I was expecting. This is a different thing. But fair enough. To each their own.
yeah. Bob,
All right.
number 2.
So my number 2, I got to point out, even though it didn't age well, it is awesome. There's
Yes.
nothing you can say that will not make this film awesome.
Yes.
All right. It's hands down awesome. Now, that being said, it's probably bad by every objective measure you could think of. But first off, it came out in 1988, and it did help
Yes.
launch the career of a man who would become a superstar. And the film is based on a true story. And this film, like I said, is just awesome, but it is terrible. I recently did a rewatch of it, and it is terrible by every means. And that is the movie Bloodsport.
I knew it.
It's-
I knew
that
it.
movie's
The
great.
one and only.
Yes, no,
Frank
it's
Dillon.
awesome.
And it's
That's the
not
thing.
based on a true story. It's based
that's why I
on
say. That's why I say, because it turned out it was all bullshit.
Yes.
All of it was bullshit. Plus, when you go back and you watch some of the stuff, you know, you got Van Damme through the whole thing.
dude,
And,
that
you know, and
chase
it's like-
scene though, when he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
leaning up against stuff.
Yeah, and then like at one point, you know, he's when he's blinded, he's doing the kicks, you know, over the, and you got the lady, you know, laughing and whatnot. The acting in that movie is terrible from everybody. Even Forrest Whitaker, who's a good actor, could not be good in this movie. Everybody is terrible in this movie. And yet at the same time, it's just awesome. But it's got it's cheesy as hell. The dubbing, the voice dubbing is terrible. Like the
so
the scene with the flashback when he was a
Dude,
kid.
when the
The
kid-
voice is like, you're
Oh
not
my
going
God.
to call the cops. Yeah, no, it's like, I wasn't going to steal it. I'm like,
Yeah.
and so
What is happening?
so yes, it's bad from so many objective measures. At the same time, I think it's still awesome. It's one of those movies that's you just can't help but enjoy it because it's just fun. I don't even care that Frank Dukes was a liar. The movie is badass.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
badass. But that's also why I say it hasn't aged well, because at the time it was marketed as a true story. They show at the end all of his statistics and everything, how
Yeah,
many
he like a
victories
60
he had and all
mile per
that.
hour kick and something
Yes,
like that.
and
yeah.
it all turned out to be bullshit.
Dude, the best some of the best stuff is the guy who did like the research on Frank Dukes.
Yeah.
Felt like got stories from his friends, like he had a trophy made and they found the shop and the receipt and all the stuff, and like his friend dropped him off in the middle of the woods and he came back in like 3 days with a trophy. Like, and then someone did the math of like how, like he was like, oh, you fight 37 times a day. Like he was like, there would have to be something like 110,000 fighters, and like no one besides him has ever talked about this thing ever.
One more time.
Yeah.
Like, just dude. And then you read like have you ever read his book, The Secret Man?
No.
Dude. He apparently saved a bunch of orphans that were captured by Somali pirates by stealing gold and some weapons, and he traded them for children.
That checks. Yeah.
Yeah, and he apparently,
especially given how truthful he was with the rest of this stuff.
And like the one of my favorite things is like he went on one of these talk shows and he had like his eye patch on, right? And the lady was like, "If you's a spy, why is you on here telling us all the stuff?" And it's like the greatest 80s thing you've ever seen. And then he's just like, well, I'm retired and
yeah,
and like
it's so far fetched as being a true story, and I understand, it's Hollywood, so of course it was going to embellish it. But then when you found out that even the stuff that it's based on was all bullshit, for that reason, it doesn't hold up. Again, the acting is terrible. It's cheesy as hell, but it's still such a fun movie. It's awesome at the end of the day. You have a good time with it. So I still love it, but yeah, it hasn't aged well.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes, it's that's perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good. I
watched my number 2
the other day.
You know what,
man.
Gray? You know what? You take that down, sir. Take that down.
How do
dare
what
you?
Now? I'm just saying, we all love certain films, and you are all wrong.
You're-
Spray bottle. Stop that. Stop that.
Warren, what Under Siege do you have for us next?
Now, this one is probably my favorite film of his.
Ooh.
It has probably the best fight scene he's ever done in it. It has let's see here. It was who was it? It was William Forsythe plays the villain in it, and he does this really crazy over the top role in it. And it's about a Brooklyn detective, Gino Felino, who seeks revenge.
He did that so he wouldn't get the name mixed up. He had to rhyme it. He was like, yeah, Gino Felino. Yeah, there you go.
He seeks revenge on his childhood friend turned psychotic drug lord, Richie Madano, after Madano murders his partner. And this is Out for Justice. And the bar fight scene
With the
is
pool stick?
probably his best fight scene in his career. That movie was probably his most... if you look at all of his other stuff, this one was the best, well put together, gritty kind of street level. Like, they didn't play up the Aikido as much as they normally do. I don't think he has any running scenes in it, and it's all around a better movie than pretty much most of the other stuff he's done. And but it still doesn't hold up because it's Seagal. And is that the one with the dog? I can't remember.
Steven.
But yeah, that one. Yeah, it's when he was going around the bars, like, anybody seen Richie? Anybody seen Richie Madonna? He's just like breaking people's hands and shit. Puts his badge and gun on the counter, and then he gets to fight with this random Asian guy who knows stick fighting, and he puts the cue ball in the towel and beats the shit out of people with it. It was one of his better films, I think, fight scene wise. But it just, like I said, though, it doesn't really hold up as well as any of his movies does. But this is probably the best one that I like the most out of all of his other films. And I've seen
Under Siege has titties in it, so I'm
True.
Well,
Cake
that is
titties.
true. That is true.
That's the best scene of any of his movies ever. And then it stops as soon as they show him, and he's got a pup tent going on. You're just like, God damn it,
But-
Steven.
Under Siege 2, though, it's on a train, man.
What's amazing about Under Siege 2 is it showed us that you could throw Steven Seagal from a train and it will not mess up his suit or his hair.
No,
Well,
he
that's
doesn't
'cause
even
he
he doesn't
uses-
even get dirty.
It doesn't even get dirty. No.
He uses the momentum of him flying against it, so it makes sense. It's Aikido, man. You wouldn't
He's
get it.
wrist locking the ground to break his,
Mhm.
his fall.
He joint manipulates the rocks and wrist locks the
He's
dirt.
in tree branches and he's
Yeah.
flying around.
Yeah.
I'm super curious what you could possibly have at one, because man, like 3 of them come to mind right now that I don't know. Are you going like most popular? Are you going most ridiculous? Like, of course, there's like the Glimmer Man. There's On Deadly Ground. The aforementioned Under Siege. I am on the edge of my seat, sir. I don't
There's
know.
some
where you
honorable
could be going with
mentions,
this.
you know, but yeah, I'm going to.
He's going to throw a curveball, and that's going to be the only one
Dude,
that's
no,
going to sit
on
off.
Deadly
going
Ground
Rob
has
Schneider.
to be on Deadly Ground, dude. Has to like that's got political stuff like oil, dude. I mean, there's all sorts of things happening in there.
Yeah.
But the Glimmer Man, you're teaming him up with isn't it Damon Wayans or someone in
Well,
that
don't
one?
forget the
And then,
classic. I think it was called The Chinese Salesman. That was another one of his.
Oh, true.
All right. So my number 2 is Lawnmower Man.
Oh, I remember
That,
thinking this was really high tech when I saw it. I
Yeah.
have not seen it in like 15 years.
So
Damn, man.
the story doesn't hold up, and the special effects obviously don't hold up.
No.
But I remember whenever I saw, my brother was like really wanted to see this movie, right? And when we saw it, we were like, whoa, you know, being the teenagers as we were. But yeah, man, like Lawnmower Man is such a weird movie. And the special effects, like you said, they were supposed to be like this big thing, you know. And then once what's his name? Why can I never remember his name? Jeff Fahey.
Yes, Fahey.
Yeah, once he gets in, you know, into everything, it's like, and he realizes like he's, you know, better there than he is on the outside and all that stuff. And then that's another Pierce Brosnan, right? Is he in that?
I want to say so. In my mind, it's him now.
I haven't watched it in forever.
Same.
Let me look this up.
Fahey's performance is the main one that I'm remembering. from
Yeah,
that
Pierce
one.
Brosnan's in it. That's right. Because he's the guy that made the thing. That's right. Okay. So yeah, it's just like from what they were like, science fiction had been done well with like Star Trek and some other, you know, things, but we were still like in the 90s getting the special effects down to science fiction for movies, you know, like there was things like where it was effects heavy is what I'm saying. Cause there was, you know, obviously other great science fiction movies. So before that, but stuff that relied on that. And then virtual reality from what it was is what it is, you know, because right now VR is pretty damn good. You know, like there's some really good VR stuff that's out there. And when you see this and it's like freaking reminds me of like when UHF whenever he did the Dire Straits song.
The video. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of that. Like, you know, where he does the Hillbilly song. And it's like that's like what we thought was like the pinnacle of what things should look like in the future.
Oh, that is interesting that you've got Tron and this one on there. And yeah, they've got kind of similar, very limited graphically depictions of a virtual reality.
Right. Well, that's kind of what like I was saying, like I didn't really have any for the story wise, except for the one, you know, like the Bond movie, because like it was like I couldn't really think of anything because, you know, I don't watch as many movies as you guys, and my memory is not the best when it comes to, I'm sure if I like scoured like and went through my collection, I could be like, okay, maybe this one doesn't, you know, hold up as
I think
well.
I got one for you
But
next.
go ahead.
But,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Number 2.
No, I was gonna say I think I got one that I could get you to agree on next. But
Okay.
yeah, man, I dig. I believe Lawnmower Man is also Stephen King story, if I remember right. But yeah, man, it's an interesting choice.
Mhm.
Does it hold up other than the graphics? I
No, the
honestly haven't
story
seen it in over
doesn't.
a decade.
Like
Yeah.
there's people in there like Dean Norris is in it, Jenny Wright, who else? I'm trying to think. Who's the guy that plays Sebastian? Mark. Someone may have to look it up. I think I don't know if it's Bringleston or Bringleston or something like that. I can't remember his name. But there's some decent people in it. Troy Evans is in it. But like, no, it does not hold up story wise. I know that. It's been a few years since I've seen it, and I remember the reason why I put it on it because I remember when I had watched it again. It was on like TV or something, like one of those weird.
Yeah, I think
channels.
that's where I caught it too.
And it was just a couple years ago, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, I like this movie." I remember liking it, and I watched it. I was just like sitting there like this the whole time. Like, I liked this.
Well, Fahey had a run for a while, and yeah,
That's
a couple
true.
of
He
his
did.
are
He
kind of
definitely
like that too.
He definitely did have a run, and then he blossomed his run as Frank Lapidus in Lost.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Your number 2, Gray.
Okay. Well, you said that you thought you couldn't think of a story that kind of wouldn't work or whatever.
Right.
I think I got one that you might agree with, and it comes from 1998.
Okay.
So I absolutely love this film, and there's some really interesting kind of points that it's making, and then there's some really interesting character work. But I guess let me kind of describe the plot to you and see if you think that maybe we need some tweaking. Okay, so there's a guy whose wife dies, but he's pretending to still do work. He happens to be a teacher, and he's supposedly writing his, I want to say doctorate, or at least a thesis. So he's been getting grant money while he's dealing with this grief. And all of a sudden, the new person in the department comes up to talk to him, introduce herself, and to find out how his presentation is coming, which is going to happen in a few days. And he says it's going well. They end up having this presentation. It goes pretty interestingly, but yeah, he ends up getting her drunk, and then ends up taking advantage of her and making her kind of participate in this illegal activity. And then from there, she is now complicit in this, and then helps him kind of make this entire fake thesis. So I'm talking about 1998's Krippendorf's Tribe. I don't know if you remember this film, but so it's Richard Dreyfuss is the main character, and Jenna Elfman from what the hell was that show? Dharma and Greg or whatever. It's kind of a 2-person thing, but there's some interesting people in it as well. Lily Tomlin's in it. Natasha Lyonne's the daughter. Stephen Root. I absolutely love me some Stephen Root. He happens to play the dean. But yeah, somehow he takes advantage of a drunk Jenna Elfman and gets her now complicit in this, so that they're faking this Aboriginal tribe that he's discovered. And then they're doing this by painting the kids and themselves in wearing traditional tribal garb, and then
Yes.
on top of that going extremely kind of, I guess you'd go brown face with this. But I don't know, man. There's so many kind of laws and weirdness that keeps getting broken throughout this. That being said, it's a charming film. I really kind of dig it, and almost everybody that's involved in this thing. I don't know that if you brought this story to anyone, they'd be like, yes, let me give you money for this. I think you have to kind of learn a lesson of some kind,
Well,
because so Lily Tomlin doesn't believe him and is convinced this thing isn't actually real. He's making it all up. So
right.
she
Well,
tries to like fact check him, and then she actually goes out into the field to find this tribe where it's supposed to be. But magically, because he had actually done some field work years ago, he calls in a favor, and he's able to pull it off that this tribe actually exists. because
Yeah.
of the power of friendship.
Right.
There's no
So that-
lesson learned. He just kind of lies to everybody and gets away with it. I don't know if they'd let you kind of get along with this today. I think something would have to change, or there'd have to be some lesson learned or something. But I
Well,
dig
I
it as it
mean,
is, man.
So if I'm remind me if I'm incorrect here, right? So he gets
Okay.
the grant money because I've seen this a few times. He gets the grant money. She dies. He basically uses the grant money to raise his kids, right? Doesn't he?
Yes.
Like, and then
And he's
he
also
concocts-
mourning.
right, he
wife.
concocts
mean-
the fake tribe, and then they right, like you said, Lily Tomlin goes into the field, and he does have the favor called in, and then she finds the tribe, and then antics ensue.
Mhm.
Kind of right? Is that kind of like
Yes.
okay?
And there's like Doubtfire
There's other
moments
stuff,
where
right? There's other
both
things
him
in
and
it,
Jenna
yeah.
Elfman are at a presentation where they want to meet the tribesmen, so they have
Right.
to keep leaving the room, and then the other one will take on the
Come
costume.
on,
There's-
yeah.
There's some fun stuff going on. It's definitely 90s comedy. They're borrowing from other things like Doubtfire. There's a few other ones they're grabbing from, but man, it is intended to be a farce. It's not supposed to be a realistic depiction of anthropology or indigenous
Right, and
cultures.
who would be offended? The uncontacted tribes of the world?
I
Like, who-
mean,
who would
they're
care?
painting the kids brown and making them walk around in like loincloths and stuff. People could be offended. I could understand why people would not be interested in that.
Man,
I don't know that
we're
you'd get it
stuck up as a
greenlit today.
society, man. We're
Fair
some
enough.
non-fun
So-
happening motherfuckers. I swear to God.
There's some fun things that it's tackling. Like the primary target of the satire is the academic bureaucracy
yes,
and the protagonist's dishonesty, not actually, hating against like this group of tribal people. It's making,
but he made it up.
yes, it's making him the actual, Richard Dreyfuss, the actual
Right.
butt of every joke. He's
Yeah.
being selfish. He's the one who is the evil person in this. But I don't know, man. There's something charming about the film. I want to hate on it, but I can't. I absolutely love this film.
That's it. I remember this movie, and I thought it was funny.
It
But
is pretty
I
fun,
see what
man.
you're saying. I see what you're saying. No, like I could understand uptight people like really like giving a shit about it. Like I could see that.
But even introducing like Jenna Elfman's character into this, so like she's just somebody who's joined the department who wants to know how his presentation's coming, wants to know like does he need any help or anything like that, and then he ends up getting her drunk and then makes her
Wait,
do a
okay.
mating dance in it.
So
like I don't know if you'd necessarily do, and he tapes her against her will. There's a lot of hidden camera work in this as well, so it's, I don't know, man. There's some sketchy business going
but
on
I
in this
mean,
thing.
it's
I think we
you
would
say
do a
he gets
rewrite
her
and-
drunk, right? Does he get? He's feeding. He's like making her drink, or do they drink
he's feeding
together?
her extra drinks so that he can get the. So they say now we need to see the mating ritual from this tribe. So he's getting her drunk specifically for the
to
intention
do the
of
mating ritual,
filming her
right?
without her knowledge, so that they will do a mating ritual. Yeah. So I don't know, man. There's parts about it where it's like if we're doing it today, we might have to cut scenes or rework them. I don't think it would be made as is.
No, probably not. Probably not, because people would be like, "Oh, that's real life." I had a similar situation
Well-
where I had to do this, and I can't believe. Like, could you believe the case that came from this? Docket.
He's also the
211.
head of the department, so he's also her boss. So in a way, there's multiple.
It's a
issues with it.
very realistic situation that you could find yourself getting into. It's very.
Oh yeah, my boss often tries to get me drunk so that I
Yeah.
will then do secret filmed mating rituals.
Right.
It rarely does it work, but
No. All right, Bob.
All right. My number one is the second film of a trilogy.
Oh, don't even tell me that it's going to be the same. I know it. I know exactly what you're picking, Bob. Go
All right,
ahead.
It's the
Wait,
first
the second
half
film
of the
a
film.
trilogy?
No,
Mhm.
it's not that one. Great.
Mhm.
It's the
I
second
know.
film of a trilogy.
Mhm.
The first, I'd say, 30 to 45 minutes are
Mhm.
where the film doesn't isn't accurate at all. It takes a look into the future, 30 years into the future. And the only thing they almost got right was that the Chicago Cubs almost won the World Series in the year 2015. They actually won it in 2016. That's the only thing they almost got right. This film actually follows what I would consider a perfect film. And so it had the daunting task of following that. And my number one is Back to the Future 2. I think Back to the Future 2 is a lot of fun. This is still one of my favorite film franchises of all time. I love these films. I think they're a blast. Even the second one is a blast, but here's why I say it doesn't age well. Because when they made the film, they tried to make it like over the top into the future, flying cars and all that stuff. I don't think they really thought that all of that stuff was going to be around. The problem is we actually got to that point now in the future and past it. And you look back and you're like, yeah, okay, that's pretty silly now by these standards. I love the second half of the film. I even love that first half of the film. It just doesn't hold up when the fact that we've kind of passed that and none of that stuff is really here.
But do you think it holds up worse than 3?
No, I wouldn't say necessarily it holds up worse than 3. For me, it's more the fact that it's supposed to be a look into the future. And
okay, I got you right.
That's why I say that.
No, that makes sense.
But
we got the shoes though.
It's also number one on my list because of all the films that I've listed. It's my favorite of them all.
Okay.
That's also why it's number one, because I still love this movie. Like the whole second half of the film is a blast, going back and kind of interweaving with the first film. I thought was pretty creative the way that they did it. The storyline of Biff giving himself all the results of the sports scores and stuff like that, and him making a fortune off of it. I thought that was great. I love the movie. It's just from a futuristic standpoint, that part of the film doesn't hold up.
Right.
But again, it's my favorite on this list. So that's why I have it as number one.
I mean, I could see it.
I think it's held up there as one of the best sequels.
It's a fantastic sequel. I'm talking specifically just about the future stuff.
Fair enough.
I could see that. I could see that.
We got the shoes though. They were part of the way right. And hoverboards exist. They're just not that version of a hoverboard. They
just don't fly.
So,
they have two
they roll.
Okay.
They roll.
We got the shoes, but they don't work like the shoes do in the movie.
I have seen Michael J. Fox put his feet into them, and they worked. They showed him the
they're
real
very
ones.
slow. They're very slow. I said they don't.
He doesn't need them to be fast these days. But yeah, man, I hear what you're saying about the future tech, but they got it kind of close. And just, man, as far as either sequels or time travel movies, I would fight anyone to the death if they're saying this one ain't good.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I want to point that out.
We're in the same camp. You're never wrong, Bob.
It is a fantastic film. I love Back to the Future too. And that's why I say it's just the futuristic scenes themselves that have aged poorly, but it's not because they're not fun still. They're still fun.
I mean,
and in fact, when you watch it now, you got to kind of look back at it and you tell people that, those of us coming out of the 80s and, because this film came out in 89, we're looking in, 25 years into the future at that point. And we're saying, oh yeah, we're going to have flying cars. We're going to have all this stuff. It's going to be cool.
It's been troped many times, people being disappointed that they don't have their flying car.
Exactly. That's why I say it.
I was very disappointed with no hoverboard. Like that
I'm just saying, we got hoverboards. We got the shoes.
Pizza?
Okay, so the pizza wasn't quite a thing, but they almost got it right. Instead, we got Soda Streams. You can have soda in your house, man. It's the beverage that goes with the pizza. Just
as
get
opposed
the hot
to just buying soda.
Or get the freeze-dried one in your freezer. They were close, but just a little off.
Very close. They were very close.
Jesus.
But yeah, but again, it's my number one because of all the films. It's my favorite on that list. I love Back to the Future too.
Well, Bob's never wrong, so
it's true.
Yeah. Warren, What deadly ground are you under sieging us to this time?
Oh, my number one is Transformers 2. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, he's got a non-Steven Seagal.
Dark of the Moon.
No, it's this one I have at number one, even though that Out for Justice is probably my favorite. This one is probably what people would widely consider his best. It is somewhat rewatchable. It doesn't have the charm of Bloodsport.
Yeah.
But it is rewatchable, and it is about a former Navy SEAL, Casey Ryback, working as a cook on a battleship, USS Missouri, who must single-handedly fight a group of terrorists led by William Stranix and Commander Krill.
With a fork!
Yep. And we get to see Gary Busey in a dress. We get to see boobs. We get to see Tommy Lee Jones chewing up every scene that he's in. And it doesn't have the I don't think it's as good as Out for Justice. But it is a rewatchable movie on a lot of levels. But it's just not probably what people would consider his best. But it's just, for me, it doesn't hold up nearly as well. Well, none of his movies hold up well, but this one doesn't hold up as well as either any of them.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't hold up at all.
No.
It's Die Hard on a battleship. And there's no walking across glass scenes, or I don't even think he ever gets punched in this movie. And that's another Seagal thing too, is like he rarely ever gets beat up later on in his career. It's like he's untouchable hero. And yeah, it's just the boobs were nice though, and we got to see Gary Busey in a dress, so that was two highlights.
Titties always win, dude.
Titties always win.
Plus a giant cake.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
saying.
true.
It is funny they drug her and then they just completely forget about her. Like just
Yeah. Titties and
I
cake.
gotta be honest, I even kind of like the second one where they're like, okay, so we've had Die Hard on a boat, but what if we did Die Hard on a train?
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as good, not nearly as rewatchable, but I don't know, man. It gets even more
Wait a minute.
ridiculous.
Wait,
if I remember,
time
there's
out.
like some microwave kills and shit.
He
Yeah.
said it's not nearly as good.
the villain wasn't as good in
Yeah, there's no Tommy Lee Jones.
Wait. Those are words that should never be used when addressing Steven Seagal movies.
I still think we should do a tier list. I could say
Oh, we're
this
definitely
one is
doing a
not as
tier
good
list.
as this one.
We're
Okay.
definitely going to do a tier list at some point. We'll do
Are we
a
going to
Steven
grade on a
Seagal.
curve so there's actually something more than just F's all the way across? Or
Yeah,
we-
yes. We'll put that, how about
we
this?
don't need the top
How
half.
about this? No, how about we'll put the F's and stuff, we'll put them in order in the tier list. Like
Yeah.
order of F in order
Yeah.
of D. Yeah.
And this is
we
an
can do
F
that.
plus. This is an F
Yeah.
minus. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I like that. That'll be coming soon.
Down Below was almost my pick because that one is probably extremely problematic, if you will, for today's age. But Under Siege, I went with because it's just,
It's his biggest like box office movie. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's like
I got a
it's
soft
just-
spot for that
It's
one.
just hot garbage,
it is.
but it's fantastic. It's fantastic hot garbage.
Yes, it is.
So, all right. So my number one is the second in a film franchise. That I've had to see many times, and I like the first one. I like the first one. And well, I said second, not seventh, right?
Fair enough. I mean, I was thinking in the new trilogy, but
Okay, yeah, Last Jedi doesn't hold no. So mine's The Mummy Returns.
Oh, yes.
And
No, I think that's a good pick.
okay.
That's
I-
a good
The
pick.
Rock.
So like I actually like stupid movies like that. I like Brendan Fraser. I like him. I like the dude. I think
Yeah.
he's that good. And some of his recent movies like have been really good. Like that one, what was it called? The Whale or something like that. Like
Yeah.
He's done a lot of really cool, like decent stuff. And I'm glad that he's having like somewhat of a resurgence and like getting some recognition. But I liked him
For sure.
and as like the leading guy in like an action movie. I thought the first one was fun. It's a definite popcorn, turn your brain off movie. But then we got the second one, and it was just like that Scorpion King scene, man. Like when he turns into the thing, it was terrible then, right?
Yes.
So how much worse does it look now?
I would, if they would have just did some basic like scale prosthetics on the Rock, and then
dude, if
The
he would have
Rock
just been
fought
in
him,
it, yeah.
If it would just been The Rock at the end, I think it would have saved the entire movie. Because
Yes.
up until then, it was
fun.
just everything that we love, but just more of it. And then you get to that scene, and it almost kills the entire movie when you see
Yes.
You're right. Even then, it was bad. Like
'Cause
now, it's
10
times worse.
You could have had him like, imagine this, right? If they couldn't get the prosthetics to move and stuff, you could have had the CGI baby scorpions, but him like as a prone, with him in like a suit propped up, like looking all menacing, with the baby scorpions kind of attacking, and then they have to kill him somehow, reverse the curse, whatever. Like they could have done something other than what they gave us, which was like a hot dog with the Rock's face with a bunch of potato head parts, and they were like, film it.
The elbow, the eye, or the eyebrow thing, and just it's just terrible.
It leans so hard into his character as the Rock.
Yeah,
when it should.
Yeah, I understand it's nowhere near the same thing as like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but what is the character's name? Like Auntie or whatever, the ant from there. Like, it's just
Looks
this giant
a bazillion
foam puppet
times
that they're
better.
using. It holds up. Like I saw it not too long ago. Like, yes, it doesn't look real, but it's not like this abomination like we got on screen there.
You're right, because
The Rock riding a prosthetic scorpion, that would have been better than him as a scorpion.
Yes.
So like I actually watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids with my son David for the first time. He loved it. And like he's
a lot of that holds up.
It does.
It's surprising, and Gray could tell you, because I sent Gray an audio message the other night but David is very weird. Okay, he's very knowledgeable, and like he notices things, right? He'll tell me, like, if we're watching an older movie that I want to see, he'll be like, oh, that looks like crap. Like that's what he'll say. Like, and so the other night he says, hey Dad, I said, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I just beat one of these stages in this game. And I said, what are you playing? And oh my God, you know what he said? The Adventures of Lolo.
It's a great game.
I said, I have to send this to Gray, because that was on his NES picks. And I was like,
it's an amazing puzzle game.
And I looked right at him, and it is a cool game, but I looked right at him and I was like, you don't understand what you just did to me. And he did. He was like, yeah, it was a good game. He was like, it's fun. So, but he like, this is one of those movies that my mom loves this franchise, and like that's kind of, like I said, how I spend time with her is watching shows, and one of the things she likes to watch this movie, but she doesn't like the second one. And when we watched it with David, he said something to me, and I said, what did you say? And he comes over and he goes, looks like a wiener. That's like, you're not wrong, kid. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, kid. So yeah, even like if a little kid can notice how ridiculous it looks, and like we said, it looked ridiculous back then. And yeah, it sucks because the first one was such a fun movie. You know what I mean? It was such a fun movie, and it had like just its own mythology and lore and stupidity, but it was fun. And this took the fun out of it. It almost seemed like it gave you something to make fun of more than what you were already watching on screen, which was like tongue in cheek.
Even with the first one, they had like CGI bugs, like the scarabs and stuff.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said if it was baby scorpions and him doing something, it would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
but you're right.
Choices were made for that second one. I don't know why they were, because I think it was expensive to do that even back then. So I don't know.
Dude, you could have just, like, the Hensons were still doing major stuff back then. You could have had probably for cheaper too, and it would have looked cool. Like it would.
You don't understand,
cool.
Cutting edge, man. They were on the edge.
But that's my number one. So Gray, you're number one, sir.
Okay, so
Is this controversial?
I don't think so.
Is
They recently tried to remake it. They changed some things, and it was not nearly as
Oh,
effective.
okay.
So
okay.
I don't think it's as controversial. But if I was to kind of set you up with the premise, okay, we have an average Joe worker, and he gets stiffed at a job, so he
Mhm.
decides to get back at his boss. And then at the same time, you have this husband and wife that aren't getting along. So the husband attempts to kill the wife. And then that results in her getting amnesia and ending up in a hospital. So that worker that was stiff decides he's going to pick her up, pretend that she is his wife, and then, just kind of torture her for a while. You might have some problems with the movie, but of course, I'm talking about 1987's Overboard, starring Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And my God, is it an amazing movie? But so it is directed by Gary Marshall.
Dude,
You do
people
have,
loved that movie back then. People loved that movie.
I love that movie. It's a great movie, but when you think about it, it's deeply problematic on every front of it. But
Mhm.
there's some growth that happens, and you do kind of learn that people do want more connection, but at the same time, it's a lot of stereotypes and shit. So I can understand people having issue with it, but man, are there some amazing performances from that, including the second best performance from Catherine Hellmond, who people know from Who's the Boss?
Wait, better
I
than
think it's
Soap?
Mona. I think so.
Okay,
I
okay.
would put it
All
above,
right,
but
all
maybe
right,
that's
all
just
right,
me.
all right, all right,
Maybe it's
all
just me.
right, all right.
But yeah, there's so many issues with the movie. The premise kind of centers on deception. There's questions about consent. There's kind of kidnapping and coercion, but it's used as comedy. So that's kind of awesome. And then at some point, the relationship does become real. So it is kind of romantic manipulation as well. And then it is kind of that whole revenge masquerading as romance. Yes, sir. You were saying something,
Do
Wes?
you think that if Kurt Russell would have vacuumed her curtains, it would hold up better?
Perhaps.
Okay.
I mean, so there's like the whole power imbalance thing behind it, but it is kind of putting domestic labor as character improvement. It's kind of implying that becoming a wife and mother through forced circumstance somehow transforms her into a better person. So yeah, there's that. There's also the gender stereotypes of like the wealthy, career-focused woman is initially portrayed as selfish and shallow, and then fulfillment comes from embracing domestic responsibility and family life. That being
Well,
said,
yeah.
it does seem like she does enjoy that. Perhaps she wasn't living a life that was true to her, and I can see that character's growth in it. But some people could say that she was manipulated into, accepting societal norms. But either way, I find it fucking delightful. As far as Gary Marshall films go, I think it's my favorite one. It's got to
Ooh.
be up there. I just absolutely love Overboard. As far as Kurt Russell movies go, it's got to be up there. It might be top 3 for me.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, man,
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
so. I might have to organize Kurt Russell films at some point because there's so many amazing ones. But there's something about Overboard, man. It just kind of it comes together.
That's a good
I guess I
pick.
like
That's a good
seeing
pick,
him.
man. That's a good pick.
But
I like
don't
that
think
pick.
it could be remade today. Granted, they tried a few years ago with Anna Faris, and I'm forgetting the male lead in it, but they had to switch the gender roles because you couldn't kidnap a woman and kind of force them again
Well,
in
you
this modern
could,
climate.
you could,
Well,
but you could. It just, I think, okay. I think if you had the right character actors, you could do it. Maybe if
Mhm.
they didn't turn out like you said, the ending, like the embracing that part of it, you might be able to do it the same way, but just not have the same ending. You know what I mean? Like you could
Yeah, well,
possibly.
I think you could have the same ending because it's supposed to be that like they undergo significant personal growth and
Right,
learn
but I'm saying
empathy
like
and
the only thing
humility.
that makes her happy is embracing, motherhood type deal. That's what I'm saying because like that's
Mhm.
something that's rebelled against massively. So, and not saying that that's right or wrong, but yeah, yeah.
But either way, man, as far as 80s comedies go, I hold that way up. But yeah, it kind of is in the pro kidnapping category, so I can understand people having issues with it. I love it.
How you doing? How you doing?
That's my my young nephew. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Hey,
Hey.
what up?
How you doing? Warren's nephew. Always a pleasure. So yeah, I mean, I like that pick, Gray. Actually, I really do. I actually like that pick a lot because I actually like that movie. I'm with you on that one. Saying that that's a top 3 Kurt Russell, that makes me want to look at some Kurt Russell movies actually. Because that's not a bad. No, that's just I'm saying that's not a bad pick, and that's not a bad topic, guy.
It comes above Escape from LA for me. But you know, to each their own.
It's hard to say top 3. It's like I think of like Backdraft, Tombstone. You know, there's
On
just
your Huckleberry.
so many. It'd be hard to do a top 10 list of his. Even
it'd be rough, but
ooh,
all right, man.
I might have put my foot in my mouth because I did kind of forget about Bone Tomahawk.
That is a
amazing
good one too.
Bone Tomahawk. Ooh. Okay.
Soldier,
yeah.
Big Trouble.
We'll have to come up with that one day.
Yeah, Big Trouble.
Oh, Big Trouble, Little China.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do. We'll definitely. If you guys think in the chat, if you guys think doing a Kurt Russell top movies, that I think if you guys agree, we might do that. Maybe that'll be in our next grouping of 4 that we do. So but yeah, man, this was fun. I think this was more fun than I thought it was gonna be. You know, because it was like for me, it was hard. It was hard for me because I was trying to think so much on like, okay, well, what holds up, what doesn't. I could pick easy ones of like kind of not easy, but like, you know, ones that politically don't hold up. And I hate the words politically incorrect because it's like, think of it, like who says anything good about politicians and politics? And saying well, that's correctness of it is just such a horrible way to describe it.
Well, that's why I wanted to add that films that you like on there.
No,
you know who can't name something that's like a piece of shit that like. I don't think anyone's defending that movie Crash from like a decade ago now or even more. It was a horrible film that was really preachy and it won an Oscar for some reason.
Yeah,
but nobody holds that one up as a good one.
Like the only movie that I had on mine that I did not like was Tron, and that's only just it's just I did like it when I was younger. I did like it when I was younger. I fully admit I did. I even had the Tron laser tag. Like I actually had that. So like I did like it's just to me it's one of those ones that I just can't watch. Tron Legacy is I think like Bob said much better, but yeah, so we'll go around the horn here. I appreciate everybody for showing up, and it seems like the Nightmares Nerd Tape says, yeah, that would be cool. We'll have to put maybe a Kurt Russell. We might actually have to do like a top 10 maybe for that.
It'd be a lot easier doing a top 5, that's for sure.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll discuss. We'll discuss. But Gray, what do you got going on the rest of the week, brother?
Unclear other than working on this amazing show that's going to take place in the near future. So stay tuned. Other than that, last panel every Friday. And I don't know. Lately, I've been talking about the box office over on Charles's channel. So maybe that'll happen again in the future. Who knows? But
have you?
Good times. Last night, and I think we're scheduled to do it next week. But
nice.
Things are always up in the air. So yeah, if you want to stay tuned, just ring the bell. But as always, ring the bell here first, and you'll know when we're doing something. That's about all I got going on. What about you, Bob? What you got going on, sir?
Let's see. A couple nights ago, we did Dad's Turn to Talk. Oh, what the hell did we talk about? We actually talked about Independence Day a couple nights ago. That was a lot of fun. It was fun looking back at the film 30 years later, and I thought that was a blast. If you guys watched the MSK show, Joe from the show, he was on with us, so that was a lot of fun. And then on this coming Tuesday, we're gonna on Dad's Turn to Talk. We're gonna be talking about Interstellar. It'll be fun
Nice.
to go back and look
Oh,
at
yeah.
that film. We picked that one because the Odyssey's coming out, so we wanted to look
Mhm.
back at another one of Nolan's films prior to that. Before we actually jump into the Odyssey, we are planning to review that one. I'll probably try to have a solo review of that out as well next week. But you can catch both Dad's Turn to Talk and all my reviews over on Bob Loves Movies.
Bob Lovis Mobius.
Yeah.
Warren, what you got going on?
I should be coming on tomorrow night after I get off work for another draw stream. I'll be doing that Saturday and Sunday, working on my comic book. If for those that don't know, I am making my next comic book graphic novel, How the Squirrels Saved Longview, about squirrels at my local city park fighting off an insectoid alien invasion. I'm making the entire comic book on my YouTube channel. So you can come on there live and watch me as I go through the penciling, inking, gray toning. You can talk to me about it. I've got a very active chat that's growing, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of joking around, a lot of talking. And if you want to learn about making comic books, you just want to have a chill, fun time, stop by for that.
Yep.
On Monday.
And you can read Sig and Joe on Global Comics. Link is in the description. So go click on that link, guys.
On Monday will be the Art Brothers Art Show, which I do with fellow comic book creator Mad Mel or Melvin Cruz. And this Monday we're going to be doing a Minions mashup. I plan to mash up Minions with He-Man, and I'm not exactly sure what Melvin's planning to do yet. And then Tuesday and Wednesday will be just more of me working on my comic book and doing live streams of that. Sometimes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'll do up to a 6-hour live stream drawing How the Squirrels on there. So, and then catch me here Friday for another last panel.
Nice.
But yeah, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm active all the time on there now. So
awesome. I got last panel and should be making some more videos soon. My schedule, like I said, at work is for the summer. It's just awful. It's just literally awful. So, yeah, just stay tuned. So, but all right, man, that's awesome. So, appreciate everybody being here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing, and hit the notification if you want to stay up to date on everything that we do. But Fridays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we will always be here with some top 5, top 10s. Always fun. It's always fun. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Good night.